Rakatay Hawa, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Kodash. Welcome to another live lesson. The name of this one, 2024, the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble. Now, pretty much earlier, I went for a little walk. Listening to the brother's video. Forget the page name, but the brother from Jersey, from the Men of Valley camp. And I was listening to other videos and looking at different things happening out here, and it just brought the title of 2024, the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble, to mind. A phrase that the elder Pastor coined for this year. Now, you have this go. I think this is January 6th, going back to that whole situation. But you have the border crisis right now, right? And then you have Trump, Nero Trump, talking about how, he didn't even say when he gets elected. I believe he said he's gonna enact a law that's in the books to pretty much send National Guard from the red states to the blue states to gather and round up all the illegals, so-called illegals, all the migrants, and then ship them back out. All right. Now, you have to remember that we're in February now. It's February 14th, so-called Valentine's Day. Oh shit, I didn't even know it was that. No wonder it's so goddamn demonic. Anyways, and he talking about, enacting that law to get rid of the migrants and sending in the National Guard to grab them up, right, to these different states. Now, the crazy thing about that is this has been going on for I don't know how long, as far as the migrants coming into this country, right? You have an influx of them coming in daily. I mean, the America's flooded with them. So here it is. If he becomes president, he won't be president till next year, sometime in January, towards the end of January. So if you have this many people in here already, right, and you still got almost a whole another year to go, how many more of them are going to be here by the time he so-called enacts this law? Right, this is the first thing I thought about. Second thing I thought about that the brother mentioned, I believe he mentioned it in his video, is that pretty much they were saying within that video that the National Guard are not trained like ICE and other of those agencies to know how to detain and how to, spot so-called illegals. So when they come through, they're just gonna grab whoever they deem, a threat and a problem, and ship them out. They have detention centers that are being built. You already got plenty of detention centers in America, but they're building a particular detention center down in Texas, I believe it was, for this particular purpose. So that's going to cause a stir and a chaos and turmoil among the people, right? Now, another thing that I been watching, very disturbing, is the situation with these so-called black women of the tribe of Judah roasting their children in the oven, talking about they made a mistake, they was trying to put them to sleep, but they ended up putting them in the oven by accident. And brothers in Great Millstone, beginning with Elder Pastor, I've been telling you to stay away from the black woman. She is treacherous. She is cancerous. She is no good. She's no good. Stay away from her. Now the sisters that are of the tribe of Judah, that are doing the best they can, continue to do what you're doing. But the majority of these women are fucked up. Here it is. You're going to take a baby that was inside of you for 9 months, and because you're so stressed out, you're going to put them in the oven and cook them. And this is not just one incident. It's several incidences of this. Leaving their babies in the dumpster, putting them in ovens, and just pretty much killing their children because they pretty much want to go and be hoes and not have to have the responsibility. Oh yeah, she was loving it when she was laying on her back getting plugged, but then when she pops the baby out and you have responsibilities, now you don't want to deal with that, right? So what I thought about was also that is an indication of what's to come, because starvation, famine is coming, and that is an indicator that when the time comes, they're not going to have a problem with killing their children, seasoning them up, and putting them in the oven and cooking them, or carving them up, or however they do it. So that made me think about that the times that are coming are going to get really bad, and these fucking women out here and these average American cannot go 20 minutes to a half hour without eating something. So what do you think they're going to do at the first moments of that hunger pain, and all they have in the house is their children? They're going to cook them up. Just like it happened during the time of the Babylonian Empire, where these women, they were committing acts of cannibalism. Just like it happened during the time of the Roman Empire, they were committing acts of cannibalism because of the lack of bread, the lack of food. And this is going to bring great distress upon America, the world, but especially these average American eye, especially among Jake, who have no self-discipline at all, period. Let's go real quick to Lamentation, and we'll build from there. I don't have any precepts, just, a couple of thoughts that came to mind. I just wanted to speak on it. Lamentation 4:3. Even the sea monsters draw out the breast. Now, sea monsters are terrible. They go out, they wreak havoc. They go crazy. They're not worried about offending anybody. They kill, they destroy. Right? But even those sea monsters, as beastly as they are, they draw out the breast. They give suck to their young ones. They have compassion on their young ones. They watch over their young ones. They protect their young ones. But it says, the daughter of my people is become cruel like the ostrich in the wilderness. But these Jake women and the men, especially these women, they've become cruel like the ostriches in the wilderness. And what do the ostriches in the wilderness do? Matter of fact, they pretty much leave their unprotected eggs. They'll leave them there. And that's how these women are. They're careless like that. So when the time of Jacob's trouble comes, what do you think they're going to do when they have nothing to eat? And famine being one of the main things that's going to drive, Jake into this situation and condition. Outside of the MOTB being the micro C-hip and the brain implant. What do you think they're going to do? They're going to comply, the majority of them. It says, the tongue of the sucking child cleaveth to the roof of his mouth for thirst. The young children ask bread, and no man breaketh it unto them. Now this happened during the time of the Babylonian Empire, but this is also going to happen now in these times. All right? They that did feed delicately are desolate in the streets. Yeah, because you have these well-to-do Jakes out here, right? You won't catch them eating at McDonald's. You won't catch them eating at Burger King or Taco Bell, or going to your local gas station and buying that food in bags that's the death in the bag. You're not going to see them eat that shit, right? On the average. But there's going to come a point where they're going to start eating each other. There's going to come a point where they're going to eat anything for survival. They that were brought up in scarlet embraced dunghills, right? And those that were brought up, in a well-to-do neighborhood, well-to-do household, they're going to be out there catching hell, homeless, in desperation. All right? Let's go to, matter of fact, first let's go to what Yahushua said. Let's go to the book of Matthew. It's in other places, but let's go to Matthew 24. Right, let's start at, I'll go straight to the point, 6. Matthew 24:6. And you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. Do we not hear about wars, rumors of wars, constant brewing of these wars happening? I heard something where I believe it was Russia attacked some I'm not sure if they attacked some American something. I forget exactly how it was, something that I saw briefly. I don't know how true it is, just something I kind of heard. So if it's not true, hey, guess what? Rumors of wars. So we see that brewing on the horizon. Why? Because we're at the time of the end, and all the signs are speaking loud and clear as to what's going on in the world today. See that you be not troubled. So for us, we're not supposed to be troubled by these things. We're supposed to be happy. The elder D-Man sent me a video of these different storms that are whipping up in different places. One of them is down in Florida. Then people back there down there are getting fucked up. It was something he had sent me, and I was watching it, and all you could hear is fucking women screaming. These same women that'll get up in your face and act tough, that talk shit, that act like men. All I heard in the video was women screaming. The scriptures say that the woman is the weaker vessel. And you better believe that the Most High don't make mistakes. So when time of trouble comes, these women are going to remember their place. They're going to be looking to a man to protect them. A man of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Al-Shai, because these simps out here, they're going to be looking for somebody to protect them. Because a lot of them are going to die. Matter of fact, let's go to that real quick. Let's go to the book of Isaiah, chapter 3. And this situation right here, Jacob's trouble, this is what's going to bring to pass, the 7 women taking hold of one man. Because the Lord said this. Let's go real quick before we go there. Let's go back to the book of Isaiah 13. And let's go to the 12th verse. It says, I will make, this is the Lord speaking, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. Why? Why will the Lord make a man more precious than fine gold? Because the majority of these men are going to be getting put to death. The majority of these men don't have Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai on their side to put that spirit in them to be solid when all hell breaks loose. Because that is going to be the stronghold of these women out here, is the man, the Israelite man of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, Isaiah 32:2. And a man shall be as an hiding place from the wind, and a covert from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place, as a shadow of a great rock in a weary land. So who are they going to be these things to? To the women. Because the women are the weaker vessel. And they're going to fold during these times. They're not going to have the minerals internally to function and to be strong. Because that is not their nature. Their nature is a nurturing nature. It is the job of the man to be the protector, the provider. All right? So going back to Isaiah 13. Matter of fact, we read that already. Let's go to Isaiah 3:24. And it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, we're just going to jump straight to the point. It's dealing with these nasty ass women out here. Isaiah 3:25. Thy men shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty in the war. So some of these jakes out here, they're going to be at war. They're going to die over there in the war. Some of them are going to be in the streets of America. They're going to die by the sword. They're going to get shot, killed, run over by a truck. They're going to be shot down dead in the streets. And it says, and her gates shall lament and mourn. This is a representation today. Back then they was talking about Jerusalem. Now it's talking about anywhere where the Israelites are at. And she being desolate shall sit upon the ground. So when this happens and all these men start dying, what do you think is going to happen with these women that are left? Isaiah 4:1. And in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. So they're going to be running for cover. They're going to be looking for someone to protect them. Because there's going to be no protection from anywhere else. Except from Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai through the men that he set up in the spirit. So going back to Matthew 24, it says, and you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not troubled. Why? Because the Lord told us of these things. This is why it says knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability stability of thy times and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. It says, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So when we see these things happening and popping off, we know the end is not yet, because it's not going to end until they make the MOTB mandatory. And the MOTB is predicated or surrounded by what? Buying and selling. Okay? You can't buy or sell by sinning. If you just commit sins, a pound of sin for $100. That shit is stupid. And this is why these guys, every year or every 6 months, they got to keep tweaking the bullshit that they're teaching. The ones that deny that the MOTB, is the micro C hemp. They got to keep twisting and turning every time that something new comes out, because they have to keep tweaking their shit, because their shit is a lie. This is why that old saying, oh, what a tangle web we weave, when at first we practice to deceive. Because you got to keep chasing that lie with another lie. And you got to keep polishing it and trying to make it the truth when it's not. It says, for nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. We see that happening, all these different uproars of the people, these different wars breaking out. And there shall be famines. This is what's coming. So when I'm listening to these horror stories of the worst terrorists on the planet, as Elder Apostle Ricard calls them, these so-called black women, I'm thinking about the time of trouble that's coming, where they're not going to have anything to eat. And if they're doing that now, right, when you still have availability of food, what do you think they're going to do when they're starving? They're not cooking those babies to eat them now, but that's like an indication of what's to come in the very near future. When Jacob's trouble erupts, the cities are shut down, the food rations are go out. You ain't gonna eat the stuff that you used to eat. You ain't gonna be able to eat as much as you normally eat, and there's gonna be some that's not gonna have shit to eat. So what do you think they're gonna do then? They got 3, 4, 5 children in the home, young children. They're gonna resort to eating them. They have no problem right now sticking them babies in the oven and cooking them and killing them. Right? So what the fuck do you think is going to happen when there's a famine? When there's desperation out here? When you can't get your WIC. You can't get your food stamps. You can't get any welfare. You can't go get any handouts. You go to these different shelters, they're closed down. You go to these different places where they give you food, there's nothing there, it's empty. The fuck do you think they're gonna do? You fucking monsters, man. You're fucking monsters. The Lord can't get rid of you motherfuckers soon enough. He can't get rid of you quick enough. You fucking monsters, man. How the fuck can you do that to your children, man? Stick them in a fucking oven? And pestilences. And we're in the time now where these pestilences, man, they're already out there. I heard some stuff about stuff that's going on in the Midwest. I mean, I don't have all of the details, so I don't want to speak on it. And plus, there's certain stuff you can't speak on YouTube. But there's some shit out in the Midwest. 3 different incidences that brothers were telling me about, but I don't really remember, which is good, because I might be tempted to speak on them. But this shit is out here, man. It's out here. And these are true to prophecy, true to what Yahushua said. And everything will be fulfilled before Yahushua cracks them clouds. It says in earthquakes in diverse places. We see this happening all over the place. You're hearing about all different types of earthquakes. You're hearing about earthquakes in places where they never had earthquakes before. And how much more do you think they're going to intensify? tsunamis, because earthquakes are like the precursor to tsunamis. It says all these are the beginning of sorrows. Then it says, then shall they deliver you to be afflicted. Now this goes back during the time of when the disciples were being persecuted for the word. But how much more do you think they're going to do it now? And shall kill you. This is like a blueprint. What we read in here is a blueprint to what's written in 2 Ezra 15 and 2 Ezra 16, which is about to come. And you shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake, because we exalt the names of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. This is why we're hated. This is what Yahweh Shai said. I don't give a fuck what those sellout groups say. And so let's go from there. Let's go to the main scripture in 2 Ezra. Let's go to 15 and then we'll jump around. Not like the house of pain. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord. Why? Because these things are true. These things will come to pass. These things will happen. Like Daniel, the prophet Daniel said. You know, the prophecies are sure. His word is sure. The apostle Peter, we have a more sure word of prophecy. The main thing we could bank, if we can't bank on anything else, only thing we could bank on really in this society is the words of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Right, because now we're reading them off the pages and pretty much bringing them out into the attention of the world. And Jake, whether they listen to it or not, that's of no concern to us. We could give 3 fucks if they listen or not. But they're going to be held accountable for everything that they hear. Yahweh Shai said, if I had not come, they would have no cloak for their sins. But now have they no cloak. So they know, so they have no excuse. Fear not the imagination fear not the imagination against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. Right, so just because they don't believe, don't worry about it. It says, for all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. And this is how the unfaithful are going to die in their unfaithfulness. By these different calamities that the Lord is going to bring upon the earth. You know, like the scripture says, such as for the sword, such as for the famine, so on and so forth. For wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth, just like it did during the time of Noah. And their hurtful works are fulfilled. So now they did the crime, now it's time to do the time. Therefore saith Yahweh, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. Now, that's dealing with the ones that died in the Lord, and also with the ones that are still alive, that are crying to the Lord day and night. You know, because even if we don't cry with our mouths or in our mind, we're crying in our spirit to the Lord to come and take this place out. All right, so it goes on to say, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and it is coming nearer and nearer every day. And one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. So they're going to be class wars, there's going to be civil wars, there's going to be race wars. Because shit is going to get really, really bad. For there shall be sedition among men, see? So there's going to be sedition against the government. There's going to be sedition, against civilian. And invading one another. Why are they going to invade one another? Because there's going to be desperation. There's going to be a lack of food, mainly. People could be homeless. People could be, without having money to buy clothes and socks and shoes and they could go without a lot of different things, but one thing they can't go without is food and water. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, because these different politicians and police officers, so on and so forth, they're not going to get any respect in this day. There's going to be total chaos, total anarchy. and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So whatever they deem to be right, whatever their so-called principles are, that's what they're going to stand upon. And it's going to be survival of the fittest out here. A man shall desire to go into the city and shall not be able. Why? Because the cities are going to be shut down. This is the main thing people do. They go to the cities, they go shopping, they go to restaurants, they go, to a jazz club or go see a musical or go see a movie or whatever the case may be. You ain't going to be able to do that in this day. Everything's going to be shut down. For because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. So if the men are going to be afraid, how much more you think the women are going to be afraid? And like I said in that video, the main thing I heard was women screaming, hollering, hooting and hollering, screaming at the top of their lungs. But I thought women were equal to men. I thought you women were strong. What the fuck are you screaming for? Huh? You want to be men, right? So step into the shoes. Step into the light, Mr. Wordsworth. Inside joke. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. This is what's coming, great tribulation. And that great tribulation is going to be, Jake is going to get hit with that hard. Second is 16 and 68, and I'll close it out here. I just wanted to say a few words on this. For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you. What do you think this burning wrath of a great multitude is? That's dealing with all the prophecies, but it's also dealing with these militaries. Didn't Trump just say that he was going to get the National Guard from the red states to enter the blue states to gather up these different migrants? You think they have the power, the ability to discern who's who? No, they're just going to grab whoever they feel like grabbing and boom. And if they can't get the job done, guess what? You have these different foreign troops that are here that are going to be activated and feed you being idle with things offered unto idols. What do you think it means to feed you being idle? Meaning being in a position where you can't go anywhere. Idle means to stand still. And your car is idle and it's on, but it's stuck in place. And what is this? These are those concentration / detention centers that they have all over America, and they're building more now as we speak, or about to build them. Whenever this devil decides to do that. It says, and they that consent unto them shall be had in derision. Those that comply with them are going to be had in derision and in reproach and trodden underfoot, because you're going to catch hell too once they don't need you. For there shall be in every place and in the next cities a great insurrection upon those that fear the Lord. This is the greatest threat to Esau's New World Order. Are the Israelites, Jake in general, but the Israelites, the ones that know that they're Israelites, the Hebrew Israelites. It says, they shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. And it had to be said again, reiterated. For they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. Then shall they be known who are my chosen. Why? Because the Lord is going to set up a standard to protect his elect. And they shall be tried as gold in the fire. Hear, O ye my beloved, save Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. Be ye not afraid, neither doubt, for the Most High is your guide. He is also our protector. Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai is our protector. So we have to, be mentally prepared for what's coming. And the majority of Jake out here is still bullshit, lollygagging. And the majority of Israelites that know they're Israelites are bullshit and lollygagging. But this is what's going to really put the screws to Jake in the time of Jacob's trouble. These calamities, famines, and everything that's going to happen. So I just wanted to say a few words on that. I pray that you brothers and few sisters have been edified. Till the next time I say, Shalom.